welcome to the channel. I'm Steve Hamlin. Today we're going to look at the electric system in our small camper van. We do a lot of dispersed camping and camping at Forest Service and BLM campgrounds where we seldom have electric hookups, so we needed a system that would allow us to be self-reliant and productive and comfortable, and the system that I've designed maximizes the capacity within the small footprint of our camper van. So it does a very good job of allowing us to be self-reliant. So without further ado, here's the heart of the system. There's a 12 volt 300 amp hour lithium iron battery and 2000 watt inverter. There's an outlet which is connected to our shore power outlet, so unless we're connected to shore power it is inactive. And I've chosen a fairly simple method of switching from house battery to shore power, which is to unplug the power cord that powers everything downstream of the electric system from the inverter and plug it into the shore power outlet on the wall just above it. I'm not sure that I'm going to stick with that. I may end up wiring in a switch because it's fine when the van is in our driveway, but when we're loaded for travel, it can be a little difficult to get at especially the outlet on the wall. Here is my monitor. You can see I've got a monitor in the upper left there, which is dark. That's because I had to change my charge controller from this system, which was EP-Ever, to a Victron. So I have a state of charge monitor that's below the AC outlet right there, which is that, and the Bluetooth monitor app on my phone are the ways that I can monitor the charge controller, which is right there. And there I have two switches to control my solar panel array. The one on the bottom controls the single 160 watt panel and the two 30 watt panels that are on the forward end of the van. And I can switch them between either powering my solar generator, which I'll get to in just a second, or in the reverse position right there. It's charging the house battery. The one above it turns off the entire system, the entire solar panel array on the roof. And I've got DC outlets all over the place, mostly USB, because we're powering more and more things, charging more and more things on USB, but I do still have some conventional 12 volt power ports as well. So this right here is my solar generator, and it's a standalone system. It's got a 2000 watt inverter, just like the house system. It has its own outlets, both AC and DC, USB, all of that. And the power strip on the wall right there is wired into one of the AC outlets. So if I turn on the inverter at the charge controller, that powers the power strip. So I can either use the house system for AC, or I can use the solar generator. The solar generator has a 100 amp hour lithium iron battery in it, so I have a total of 400 amp hours available to us. This one has an EP-Ever charge controller, so the monitor that came with the EP-Ever is still working. Shows a happy battery right now. So you can see that I have a remote switch for my inverter here, which is very important on that especially, but on the house system I have one just above the power strip, so that I can turn on the inverter for AC power easily, and probably more importantly, I can turn it off easily when we're done with it. And it has a light that tells me when it's on, to make it a lot easier to remember to turn it off when we're done. The things that we use the AC power for currently are our microwave. We have a 700 watt microwave, and the tea kettle, which we use multiple times a day. The microwave gets used occasionally, but it's a backup means of cooking dinner. So that's the inside portion of the electric system, except for the outlets, which are spread around the van in convenient places. I've kept the bulk of the electrical system on the driver's side of the van. The circuit breaker panel is tucked away behind the hamper. There it is. You can see the lights there. And that's worked out very well. That's a six channel 12 volt system, marine system, Blue Sea it is. It's worked very well. One other thing that I have that I didn't mention is there's a charge controller on the wall here, which is for our 160 watt ground deploy folding panel, solar panel, which is tucked away under the bed platform, and I can put that out if the need arises. So far we haven't really needed it. We've used it a couple of times, mostly just to test it out, but it's comforting to know that we've got extra capacity should we need it. We have a total of 540 watts of solar panels on the roof. So with that 160, that brings us to a total of 800 watts, and that panel is expandable. I can daisy chain other panels onto it if I choose to, but so far we've used it so little it doesn't seem to warrant giving up the space that it would require to store it. So now I've moved to the outside of the van. I'm on the driver's side, and just in front of the rear wheel well I have our shore power port. And I have a port for our ground deploy solar panel. So now we've moved on to the roof. The solar array consists of 360 watt panels in the rear and two 30 watt panels mounted either side of the roof vent. And it's broken up into two separate systems. So the three front panels, the 160 and the two 30s, are wired separately, and the two 160s in the rear are wired permanently into the house system. The front array can be switched using the switch near the charge controller to charge either the house system or the solar generator. Here I'm opening the case for the 160 watt folding EcoFlow ground deploy solar panel. The case doubles as a stand. It's got a rigid side which stays vertical to support the solar panel, and a flexible side that lays on the ground. Here I'm pulling out the cable, and now I'm going to throw the plug end under the van to get the plug close to the port on the other side of the van. I'm removing the packaging that controls the cables that are part of the solar panel, and unfolding the panel. The panel comes with a couple of carabiners, which I'm now about to attach to the fabric loops in the upper corners of the rigid side of the case. Once they're attached and the solar panel is kicked out at a bit of an angle, it'll stay open so you can point it at the sun. Now I'm preparing to connect the cables that are part of the solar panel to the long cable that will attach it to the electric system of the van. These are MC4 connectors, which are standard for solar panel use. And if I wanted to add more panels to the ground deploy system, I'd need to use either Y cables or branch connectors to do that. Here I'm connecting the plug to the port in the side of the van on the driver's side, and the solar panel is attached to the house system and generating electricity. There's the cable going under the van, and here's the charge controller, and you can see that it is generating power despite the fact that it's a pretty gray day out. This is an MC4 connector tool. It's a very valuable tool to have. I highly recommend having a pair of those on hand. You don't need it for the EcoFlow solar panels, but they're invaluable for normal MC4 connectors. I hope you found this information to be interesting and valuable, and if you did, please be sure to hit the like button, and I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. If you have any comments or questions, please be sure to leave them below and I'll do my best to answer them. I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.